at the D&D Building, and I wanted to welcome you to our second Design Forum series. This is we had one in January, we have one this month, and we'll have another one in March. The series was really developed in order to elevate the design conversation and help to enrich all of your design practices, and we hope that this will be accomplished. We wanted to make sure that the information you're getting is exclusive, it's unique and relevant from the D&D Building. This afternoon, you'll be treated to a discussion about European treasures found in antique markets, as well as how to organize a client trip to those markets. You will hear stories, anecdotes, things that are successful, things that have gone awry, and how those get fixed. And we wanted to make sure that you understood how to make that work for your clients, for your special projects. The panel discussion will be moderated by Robin Gordon, who is the Vice President of Marketing at Duralee, and then she will now introduce our esteemed panelists. Thank you.
Well, actually, am I on? No. Is this working?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, sorry. It's not Duralee, it's actually the Robert Allen Duralee Group, because we're a newly merged organization, and we're very excited to be a much bigger company now, and a much more powerful company in the industry. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited with my new friends, and let me introduce everybody who's here. I've got Garrow Kedigian, and Garrow is originally from Montreal. He's now based in New York, and he does design work here in New York and in Montreal, and organizes several trips a year to Paris and other locations to do antiquing tours with his clients. And then I've also got Robert Passal, who's a New York City-based designer, extremely accomplished, very well published, and has a wonderful shop in Greenwich. And of course, we've got Toma, who I don't think needs any introduction, but Toma is the Antiques Diva and sponsors tours. Her company does tours all across the world, taking clients on antique buying trips, and she guides people all through. It doesn't really work, right? Is this one better? Is that better? Yeah. See? I thought so. Okay, whatever. Anyway, and here's Toma. So I've got a list of questions that I'm going to start. I'm going to go back and forth between Garrow and Robert, and then have Toma add in her comments as well. So let's start. I'm going to start with Garrow. Garrow, the first question.
She knows I'm going to have no problem butting in. That's why I don't get questions. I'll just interrupt.
I know. Well, I have questions for you too. And based on the conversation before we started, the conversation is not going to stop. So, Garrow, what is the most challenging aspect of shopping with a client for a project in a European antiques market?
Well, that's a tough question. So, how to break that down? So, usually clients have, you know this from all your own design projects. Clients always have in their head what they're thinking that they want, and you sort of have to diffuse them and do it in a sort of political way. And we were just talking about this. I used to work for a designer in Boston who didn't do it as politically as we need to do it today. But usually what I do is I preview everything, and that's an important part of it. I take my clients to the Paris flea markets. I've been doing that for I'd say at least a decade, and I love taking them there because it's always sort of treasure trove of what you can find. But the important thing is to go in there, and Toma was saying this, is that you really have to sort of stage it and be really careful, because they'll always veer off and find the tackiest, most awful piece of furniture, and they'll be like, I love it, can I have this? And I'm like, how about this?
We came here for this.
So, Robert, how do you establish a budget for a trip? Like if you're taking clients on a trip for buying antiques, how do you establish a budget? What's the timeline for scheduling a trip? Like how far in advance do you schedule these trips?
I think that's really based on the client, the timeline, when they're available and when you're available. As far as budgeting, I think we all sort of know what our budgets are with clients. But I feel like once you get to the Paris flea market or any of the markets, the budgets kind of go awry. None of it really matters, because there's a real excitement that goes along with sort of finding this original treasure, and it's really gratifying, in the end.
Well, the French call it coup de foudre. It's that struck by lightning, love at first sight. And
Absolutely. The
that's
hype.
what you're
It's
looking
the hype.
for.
What I usually do is I go with a floor plan and I highlight all the items that we don't have, and that helps me to sort of keep in mind what it is that we're looking for, you know?
Well, it must be hard to keep them on track and keep them focused for the items that you're looking for and stay
That's what
within that
Garrow was
budget.
saying.
Okay, yeah.
I will say that I have a rule that if an interior designer emails me and they say one thing in the first email, I'm like, I'm sorry, we can't work together.
What's that one thing?
The second that they email me and say, I'm looking for a cabinet that measures X by X, and I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, that's not the way it works with antiques.
Well, now you're leading me into the question. So the first question I have for you is can you just talk a bit about how you work with designers and their clients, and what is the Antiques Divas process?
Okay. So I'm the Antiques Diva, and I own the company, but I work with a team of locally based guides. So I'm American. We are in 15 countries on 3 continents, and I have a team of 31 locally based guides. What that means is that when you book a tour, you're going to come in, you're going to tell me what it is that you're looking for. Sometimes it's an interior designer, it's antique dealers, hoteliers. So the client tells me what they're looking for. And then often they'll tell me, I want to go to the south of France. And I'm like, that's great, you're going to have a great time in the south of France. But honestly, you're not going to buy any great mid-century modern there, so you might want to rethink where you're going to go. So first of all, we're going to tell you where you should shop. Second of all, we're going to take you there. You're going to book your own airfare. You're going to book your own hotel. We'll give you some recommendations on hotels. But honestly, we don't want to be involved in the travel. We want to help you shop. Each day, we're going to pick you up in the morning. We're going to go out with you all day. And we have custom planned. Just like Garrow said, we go out, we see what you're looking for, we plan an itinerary. Most of our clients book 3 to 5 days, but you can book 1 day, you can book 3 weeks. And on the tour, we're going to translate, negotiate. And then we, in addition to doing antique buying tours, we have AD&Co Logistics. It's a separate company, and that is our shipping division. We do art and antique shipping around the world. And so then we're going to help you get it home.
Actually, this question's for all of you. So we'll start with you, Garrow. What are your favorite markets and why?
Well, for me, as Toma was saying, you have to really know what you're looking for. And for any of you that know my work, I'm sort of a classicist, but have a more modern, streamlined sort of interpretation of that style. And we do tend to look for a lot of mid-century modern pieces, and they're difficult to find in New York sometimes at a good price point. So I actually love the Serpette market. It's the Marché aux Puces, which is basically at Porte Clignancourt in Paris. And that is the first place I take my clients when we get there. Of course, I always go and preview it the day before. And then, as Robert was saying, you always have to go religiously with your floor plans so that you can really make sure that whatever you're shopping for, you're doing it conscientiously. It is really easy to go there and fall in love with 25 different things. And just this past time, 2 weeks ago, I was there and I found this hutch cabinet that was like this secretary and this desk, and it had these gorgeous cabriole legs, and it was Macassar, and it was just gorgeous. And it was like 2,600 euros, and I was like, I need to find a home for this piece of furniture. I obsessively emailed it to every single one of my clients.
What about you, Robert? What's your favorite?
I think Paris is my favorite. I've been to, with Toma,